Oh, sorry. That's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver Common Sense Show. I'm on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe. It's been a very hectic 24 hours in my household. I'm hoping to get the whole show done tonight. I know some people may not understand. Others are going to understand 100%. It was actually about this time last night. Every night, 9 o'clock, my wife and my daughter take our 3 dogs for a walk. One's a 15-year-old Yorkie Poo. One's a 11, 10-month-old toy poodle mix. And the other one is a 7, 8-month-old Pomeranian Shih Tzu. That's why the Peloton tread has thousands of classes to get you up and moving. Pug mix. Whatever level you're at, we got a class for you. They were walking by somebody's house. From a 15-minute walk, my daughter went into the street to avoid a little bit. And the owner had I think it's a black lab that was not on a leash. Ran out, grabbed a hold of my toy poodle. Now, we don't know whether it was a vicious, playful. My daughter, my wife, there was some talk, but they picked him up, brought him home. My daughter noticed he was bleeding from one of his legs. So I put him on the couch with a towel, got some alcohol, I was going to, clean him up. Then I noticed a bunch on his stomach. It was about 1 inch tall, 2 inches round. The center had a blackish look, and this dog, Abel, he was he should have been a circus dog. He'd play catch with himself. He would literally throw the ball up in the air and chase it. Playful, loving dog. So we took him to the emergency vet because he was just laying there, wouldn't move. When I rolled him over on his back to check him, his normal thing is spread his legs. Look at my junk, Dad. So he had the ability to move his, but he just, and I thought maybe more hopeful that it was he was in shock. When we got him there, they took him right in the back. They came out. A normal blood pressure, they want over 90 systolic on these dogs. He was down to 60. They said his gums were white, and he was bleeding into his abdominal. They didn't know how bad, whether it would correct itself. They started doing testing and all that. We got there 9:30, 10 o'clock. By 1 o'clock, we found out that they had him on either methadone or I forget what. They said they drugged him up good. And even when they would move him, he would start screaming in pain. There was no damage showing on the x-rays, but they think there was spinal damage to his back, damage to his liver, damage to his kidneys. It looked like he had a rupture of the body cavity, which was allowing intestines or something else to poke through. Now, like I said, he was 10 months old. And I knew even if we had the money to spend, it was like $10,000 to $15,000 for the surgery. That's if he made it tonight. That he was going to be living in pain the rest of his life and need a lot of medical, which he was not going to have a quality of life. So we made the decision to have him put down. And this is my, which one is it? This one. This, that's Abel. I mean, he was a family dog, but that was my daughter's dog. My daughter's first real dog. You know, he slept with her every night, and she took care of him. I mean, she's 20 years old. I didn't know she looked young. She had more balls than I did because she held him while they put him to sleep. And that was him before. And that's not him. He never stood still unless he was sleeping. If he wasn't sleeping, he was moving around, and he just had this joyous look on his face at all times. He was a happy, happy, happy dog. One of the most happiest dogs I've ever seen in my life. So about 1:30, we let him go. All because, and people are going to, oh, there's no harm. This is why when you live in a very close-knit neighborhood. Now, if you're out on the farms like that, yeah, I understand. You can let your dogs run. It's a lot easier. But when you got a close-knit neighborhood, you can't let your dog run around unleashed. Because whether he was doing it viciously, thinking he's protecting his property, which he wasn't on his property, or being playful. My puppy's dead now because of an irresponsible owner. And it just doesn't stop there. It doesn't. It doesn't. Because now it's all of us are dealing with the loss. And then there's this one. This is my Pomeranian Shih Tzu furball. He has been moping around all day. We've been giving him love, treats, and everything. He's just moping around because those two played. Oh. Now we're doing something. Now myself, I am. It's $2,500 vet bill. Of course, I'll be dropping that off at the doorsteps of the owner. I've already talked to him once. I'll be talking to him again. Some are saying I should contact the county to report this to make sure it doesn't happen again. But I don't want to punish the dog for irresponsible owner. But the irresponsible owner can cause next. It could be a child getting bit. So I'm kind of torn. And we've had an offer for another puppy. We've all talked about it. We might take him up on the offer because not to replace Abel, but someone for my my other puppy. Number one, the reason why we got Abel was he would not attack, but playfully go after the 15-year-old. And the 15-year-old's too old to play. So he wants to play all the time. Not today, but so we need a playmate for him. And hopefully that he's not in this funk too long. But it just pisses me off. My anger last night. We drove by the house so my wife can point out so I can get the address. And the gentleman was still up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I stopped. Straight in there. I know why he had a little bit of attitude. You got a strange car pulling up. I was like, can we talk? And I was like, my dog is dead because of you. He is regretful, but that doesn't bring my puppy back. I mean, these guys are... And then Cain and Abel. Yes, Cain and Abel. They would run around the coffee table chasing each other. Then one would stop knowing that the other one was coming around. And it was just so much fun watching them play. But I'm going to miss the little bugger. Just because someone didn't want to have their dog on a leash. My dog paid the price. He didn't know what was going on. Then I get told by the vet that the county's going to be contacting us. Because Abel, right after the attack, my wife bent down to check on him, and he didn't know. He didn't see my wife, and he bit her in the finger. And as soon as he realized it was my wife, he backed down. But it did draw blood. So got to contact the county. We got to report it. Hillsborough County, if you know what's best, don't come knocking at my door. Because you're a lazy bunch of bastards. I know it's kind of, but there's other issues going on in this county that I got a huge issue with, that the Hillsborough County sheriffs will not enforce state laws. Basically because either A, they're lazy, B, they think it's beneath them, or C, it's not glamorous enough for them. And I've heard all the freaking excuses from the sheriff's office. And all it screams is, I'm lazy. So having them come to my house talking because my own dog bit one of us because he was in pain and got attacked, and you want to come knock on my door, not going to happen with me. You'll get sent right off my property in a heartbeat. I also found out a little bit on a different note. I actually can play some music, having my headset playing, and you guys can't hear it. I'm actually playing a Silver tune. I love, Kenny Hicks and John Kelly. They're ex-members of Typo Negative. Side note, one of the ex-members of Typo Negative is now a New York City medic. Oh, it's been rough. Not much sleep. Watching my wife, the emotional state she's going through, my daughter's going through, it's weighing down on me. And again, just goes to because someone couldn't be responsible enough to put their dog on a leash. And it wasn't like they just walked outside. They were out there for a while. And I know I've been guilty when I had my German Shepherd. when I would take him to the truck to go for, he would go everywhere I went, but he would go straight, jump right in the, well, I shouldn't say truck, the SUV, and jump right in the back. He did not deviate. He knew not to deviate. He knew he was going for a ride. He didn't want it. I've had other dogs walk by. I'm going for a car ride. Oh. The other thing is, I've been today. There's got the live meetings streaming of Dalton, Illinois. For those of you that don't know what's going on out there, you got to look up the Mayor Tiffany. I can't remember her last name. Man, that woman thinks she can do anything she wants. Like people are saying, all these corruptions that we're seeing, it's not the Republicans. It's fucking Democrat elected officials. They think they could do whatever they want. And this woman thinks, oh, because I went to the White House and I met Biden. Oh, I'm super mayor. And yes, she calls herself super mayor. We'll get into that in another episode. Holy shit, is this woman delusional? She writes checks on her own without approval of the board, without a second signature. She shut meetings down because she didn't like what was being said. She locked out the trustees, which are the other council members. She's locked them out of the building. It's bad enough that it's got the attention of the FBI, Attorney General of Illinois. She's got a proctology exam coming to her big time. Las Vegas is now investigating her. Yeah, she's flown all over on the dime of the people. This is a town with a medium income of like $20,000. She's got him $7 million in debt now. And she's been flying all over the country, first class. She has 24-hour police security. One gentleman, someone like had 300 hours in 1 week. Oh, what is it? There's 360 something. Let me see something. So I like to try to do everything up and up. So 24 times 7. I did something wrong there. 24 hours. 168. Oh, it's in a 2-week paycheck. He had 300 hours when there's only 336 hours in a 2-week period. How he was working almost 24 hours on some days is beyond me. And why this small town mayor has 24-hour security. She went and bought a $150,000 SUV without approval. And it just, every time I hear about these cases, it's Democrat, 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 Democrat. But Democrats swear it's the Republicans that want to take your rights away. They're the ones that are corrupt. They're the ones that only care about the rich. Yeah, that they say one thing and mean another. It goes back to the rules for radical. Accuse your opponent of what you're doing before they accuse you. It's what's going on out there is scary. Oh, but yeah, it's still hard. I'm gonna miss my little buddy Abel. You know, all he wanted was love and attention. Now I feel bad because I yelled at him before he went to the walk. He was one of those he loved to get right up in your face, and that's one thing I don't like is getting right up my face. So he went for the walk. You know, he's a puppy, and I know it. I just get out of my face. But when he came home with the blood all over him, I immediately started taking care of him. People, pay attention. Keep your dogs on leashes, especially your big dogs. You live in a close-knit neighborhood. Please keep them on leashes. Because the ones that are paying the price are my daughter, my wife, my other dogs, and myself. We're the ones hurting. We lost a family member, and Abel. And it just, oh. All right, let's try to get on to some topics here. It's just weighing heavy on me. Lou Conter, I think it's Conter, the last survivor from the USS Arizona from the Pearl Harbor attack, has just died at 102 years old. God bless that man. One of the last of a great generation, and the fact that he survived. The Arizona lost 1,177 sailors and Marines in the 1941 attack that launched the United States into World War II. The battleship's dead accounted for nearly half of those killed in the attack. It's I want this picture up for my little buddy. See if I can switch this up. How can I switch this up? Now that's where I got to figure out. And, no. How come it keeps doing that? Share window. I don't know why. Share window, for some reason, always takes primary. Yeah, and besides the loss, now it's $2,500. My wife had to call out of work today, so there's 8 hours of work lost. Why? Because irresponsible owners. All right, back to about this great gentleman. Connor was a quartermaster standing on the main deck of the Arizona as Japanese planes flew overhead at 7:55 a.m. on December 7th that year. Sailors were just beginning to hoist colors or raise the flag when the assault began. He recalled on how one bomb penetrated steel decks 13 minutes into the battle and set off more than 1 million pounds of gunpowder stored below. The explosion lifted the ship 30 to 40 feet out of the water, he said during a 2008 oral history interview stored at the Library of Congress. Everything was on fire from the mainmast forward. This man survived that, and he lived to 102. That's within itself is an amazing feat. But the fact that he survived the Arizona and lived to 102, God bless you. Let's see. Next article I want to go over. Where to go? Freed. Oh, how the hell did you say this guy's name again? Fareed Zakaria, that's it. He works for CNN. And he actually called out. I think it's MSNBC. Here, let me pull the article up here. Yeah, I know I'm off tonight. I was debating whether I was going to do the show or not. I'm really just not with it. All right, Fareed Zakaria calls out Stacey Abrams, an election denier, in a debate over Rhonda McDonald's firing from NBC. That's the thing. NBC is, we're firing her because she was election denier. Oh, don't pull that shit. Don't pull that shit because you're going to lose on the facts, on the truth. You fired her because you did not want to have a fair and balanced, to steal Fox's saying, a fair and balanced reporting. You want a echo chamber, NBC, MSNBC. That's all you want. You want an echo chamber. Fox's website with the damn audio. Talks about that CNN host Fareed Zakaria argued Friday on HBO's Real Time that liberals should stop enforcing double standards on their platforms after firing a former RNC chair, Rhonda McDaniels, from NBC. NBC News terminated his contract just 4 days. After just 4 days. Do you think she has a wrongful termination suit? They better be paying her full contract, which is a waste of money for MSNBC at that point. And they apologized to their employees. That tells me that the sane asylum is run by the nut jobs. But when Zakaria, he pointed out that the arguments to remove McDaniel were not fair to both conservatives and liberals. They say, no, it's not about that. It's that she lied. Zakaria said of McDaniel's firing from NBC. Well, Bill Clinton lied under oath. I think last time I checked, he's been on MSNBC. They say, well, she's an election denier. Well, Stacey Abrams was an election denier about her own election, and they had her on. They've had Jeffrey Harcum, Extreme Hakeem, on there. He is one of the biggest. They've had Hillary Clinton. She's denied her election to Trump. Abrams is a two-time failed gubernatorial candidate who famously refused to concede the election to Georgia's Governor Brian Kemp in 2018, and even suggested that he, as then Secretary of State, enacted policies to suppress Georgia voters. She has since denied challenging the election and has acknowledged him as governor. This is what I don't understand. These people are so stupid. We're going to talk about Biden does this in a little bit. Whether it's on paper or on video, and they try denying that certain things happen. And they get away with it. The media lets them get away with it. Time and time again, the media has let them get away with it. They allowed the Democrats to do one thing, say one thing, and then when they get caught in their bullshit and called out on it, they deny that they ever did it, and the media goes, oh, we don't know what you're talking about. Which also goes to one of my things. I tried looking again today. It was like a 2006, 2007. I was at the squad. It was a Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. My partner was Crash. And we were in the day room watching TV, and we had the news on. And Senator Obama walked out of a church with his wife, and there was a reporter, and it was in Chicago. And she asked, why did he convert to Christianity? And he said that the reason he did it is they would never elect a Muslim president. Can't find that. I found it before, and now it's gone. That interview has disappeared. And again, if anybody has it, please link it to me. I want it. The Democrats constantly get away with saying one thing and doing another. Now I give this Zakaria credit for calling it out. And that's amongst many things. That's one of the big issues I have is this shit with the liberals and the Democrats of them doing that. They have a double standard constantly. And then they act like victims when you call them out on it. But Zakaria goes on, the way you're going to defend liberalism, the way you're going to move it forward is by not cheating, not cutting corners, not having double standards. Because if we have them, then what Trump says is, well, you cut corners, I cut corners, which I don't see Trump doing. But I understand his logic behind it. And you know what? It's not far off. If they can do it, why can't Trump? Why can't Republicans do it? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. And we all know the shit that just happened this past weekend with Biden declaring that. So I don't get it wrong. Hold up. President. Yeah, I didn't save any articles. Biden went and declared a transgender day of visibility. You know, within the LGBT, ABC, EFG, alphabet soup, they have like over 30 days of recognized holiday days, if you want to call them that. Fucking ridiculous. But even Caitlyn Jenner called it out and said it's absolutely disgusting. So what if it was that day? He did not have to. Biden did not have to go out there and put a proclamation on it and say you cannot do any religious symbols at the Easter celebration at the White House. And why I'm talking about the double standard is now you got a commander in diapers denies it. He did not declare Easter Sunday Transgender Day of Visibility. Where's my soup? Where's my soup? Damn it, where's my soup? Oh my God. It drives me up a wall. Is he that senile that he doesn't realize he said it? Or is he just that much of a liar? Because honestly, I think it's a little A, little B. I think it's a little bit of both. It just, And then, what is it? He's bragging. He's bragging about using executive orders for gun control, which I don't see how he can do that. I know the shit he's doing is sketchy, and a lot of it's being challenged in court. But he put a tweet out, my administration is taking the crisis of gun violence head on. I've signed more executive action on gun violence than any president in history. And the most significant law to address gun violence in almost 30 years, and it hasn't stopped shit. Hasn't stopped anything. Their laws won't stop anything because if laws stop these criminals, if laws stop these lunatics from committing these atrocities, having murder against the law would be all that we need. That would cover everything, wouldn't it? If criminals are going to follow law and having murder against the law, that's the only one you need because they're not going to go out and shoot people because they're not going to want to kill people because murder is against the law. But no. And they just keep thinking, let's add more laws. Let's add more laws, more laws, more laws, more laws. And what? We get this fuck face of a son that breaks the law and they don't even want to follow that. Let's enforce the laws we have and stop ignoring them. That's a conversation I had with my HOA president recently. Well, we've tried to enforce this. People aren't listening. So what do you want? No. If you're going to have the rules, enforce them. If not, stop nitpicking ones and annoying people. Enforce or don't enforce. That's it. Two choices. There's no in between. Oh. And I've been loving the shit on TikTok. I really don't watch TikTok. I really couldn't care about it. It's not that I'm against it because it's China or this or it's that. I just really don't want to deal with those immature diaper-wearing brats. And that's what a lot of them are, because I've been putting some of the shorts up, video shorts from my show. And oh my God, purple hair pierced through every goddamn inch of their face. Going on what's wrong with one world governments? What's wrong with us getting rid of the United States? I had one idiot talking about the gun control. Well, the Second Amendment says you can have a gun, not buy one. Oh, boy. So I asked them, and they still haven't responded like the children they are. Then you agree I should be able to make my own guns, print my own guns, and not have government serial numbers on them at that point. And some of the dumbest arguments. We should make it hard to get guns. Should I make it hard for you to open your mouth? Should the government? Should the government make it hard for you to get a fair trial? Should the government make it hard to not have slavery? You know, or is it just the Second Amendment you don't want to uphold? You want to pick and choose which amendments you want to uphold. But you sure as hell push abortion, which isn't even a constitutional amendment that you think you have a right to. They want me to, and then what is it, the newest one I see a lot that makes me laugh? Oh, you boomers. Oh, you jackass. You don't even know what a boomer is. I'm not a boomer. I'm Gen X, bitch. I am Gen X. Hear me meow. I ain't scared of you, immature, no life experience, the know-it-alls. You don't know shit yet. You're still wet behind the ears. Come back to me in a few decades. We have the internet. We know everything. You know, for a generation that has all the information at their fingertips, you sure don't know shit. You only know what's been preached to you by older people. And just this boomer, it's the new buzzword. Have you people ever noticed that with liberals? It's the new buzzword. That's what we're going to go spewing. The news buzzword. Oh, we're going to blame the boomers. We're going to blame the boomers. Fuck you, the boomers. Damn. I'll take them over you little whiny ass bitches any day. Fucking idiots. I tell you. I know. So, New York is also showing how much of a joke they are. So, they went after Trump because he overvalued his homes, his properties. Well, there's a report coming out that Jon Stewart is found to have overvalued his New York home when he sold it. And we're not talking about a little, we're talking about a whole lot. In 2014, the comedian reportedly sold his 6,280 square foot Tribeca duplex to financer whatever for $17.5 million. But according to the 2013-2014 assessor records obtained by the Post, the property had the estimate market value of only $1.882 million. The actual assessor evaluation of property for property tax purpose was $847,174. He sold it for $17.5 million. It was only valued at 1.8. So why isn't that attorney general charging him? And if you don't think stuff like this is going to be shown in appeals, I'm pretty sure you're delusional. Jon Stewart is doing exactly what he's accusing Trump of doing. And that's New York. That's not even Florida. And one of the properties in Florida that they're talking about that he overvalued, he didn't overvalue. They went by the property assessor value. And here in Florida, the laws are different. You can only raise the property tax by 3% each year. I think it's each year. But it's only 3% it can be raised. Why? To keep property taxes in check so they don't skyrocket out of control. But the actual value of the house can go up as much as it can. My property, my assessed property tax is like 150, 180 on my house. Okay? But the actual value is like 350. And really, what someone's willing to pay for and what a bank is willing to write the mortgage for. And with Trump, they were looking at Mar-a-Lago, which worth money as it is, and the fact that it's Trump's property, it's got history, the value is going to be way, way, way above. This just shows the liberals' disdain and ignorance, how they will ignore law to try to get Trump. They don't care if they break the laws. They want to get Trump. They're pulling Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. They think they got him right now. Nope, they don't. There's a new poll out, too, that Michelle Obama is polling just as bad as Biden against Trump in the swing states. You know, it's... Trump has officially posted a $175 million bond to prevent New York from seizing his assets. We knew he would do it. He had the money. He had the money to do it, $500 million. But are you going to be stupid and put that money up if you don't have to? If it's overreached by the government? Of course you're not. Florida Supreme Court has upheld 15-week abortion limit. Good. And Florida's not banning abortions, but after 15 weeks you can. And you should have a decision by then. It just, I don't know. Pennsylvania court has ruled in favor of signature verification for mail-in voting. Yes. Finally, a little bit of sense of logic. I know why the Democrats don't want it, but the argument is Swiss cheese. But then you have the idiots like the shit that's going on in Dalton, Illinois, where that Democrat mayor, to go speak, you got to show an ID and prove that you live in the area, which is against the law. What you have to show ID for in everyday life. And I think it's racist of Democrats to say that minorities wouldn't be able to handle it, be able to do it. Democrats are basically saying minorities are too stupid to get an ID. Too stupid to show an ID. That's exactly what the Democrats are saying. Democrats have been saying how stupid minorities are for years. You can't get a job unless we give you it and help you with it. We got to give you affirmative action. The only way you're going to get into college is if we help you, because you're too stupid to get in that college. That is what the Democrats say over and over. You can't get that job unless we give you the leg up, because you're too stupid. Guess what? There is plenty of minorities. Plenty. Smarter, more deserving of opportunities. And they get them. If you work for it, you're going to get it. So, I get so tired of this shit. It's draining. It's taxing. Letitia James is facing growing pressure. And she ain't going to do it, but she's getting pressure to prosecute Jon Stewart. Let's see. As I talked about with the alphabet soup, LB, LGBTQ, RSTUV, XYZ, now I know my ABCs. 3 months and 28 days of events. Then they wondered, oh, we're not trying to shove it down your throat. No, you're not. Then why do you have all that? Listen, don't come at me saying I'm a homophobic or anything. I'm not. I don't care who you're fucking. I don't care who you're sleeping with, how you're having sex. As long as it's consensual and it's legal, I don't give a flying fuck. Period. My uncle was gay, never had a problem, never had an issue. I've partnered in EMS with people that were gay. I don't care. I don't want to know your sexual preference. That's your business. But when you're forcing it on me, and that's exactly what you're doing with all this shit, you're trying to force your lifestyle on me and other people's. And you know, best advice I got was from this gay guy at a bar. We were talking. And he said one thing he's tired of with all this shit that's going on. He goes, I don't want people forcing their lifestyle on me. He goes, I want to live my life the way I want to. He goes, but these jackasses are out there. These alphabet soup groups. And they're trying to force their lifestyle on other people. They're doing exactly what they're bitching about. Why are transvestites so dead set on involving little kids? Listen, you want to do this stuff with other adults? Go right the fuck ahead. And a lot of people are the same way I am. You want to do it with other adults? Go right ahead. You're trying to involve the kids? That's a line. Give you a little advice. Check out the prisons, how it is in there. You could murder a cop, get left alone. You fuck with a little kid, shit's going to happen to you. We're protective of kids. And then kids should have a right to decide at 5 years old if they want to cut their penis off or grow a penis and take puberty blockers. They don't know what the fuck they want. It's the new shiny thing being dangled in front of them. And I had the same thing with my daughter. She came home. Well, there's this gay and lesbian group. They want me to join. Okay, are you gay? Well, they said I don't know if I am or not. Well, do you? I don't know. Do you like women? No. Do you want to sleep with women? No. Do you like boys? Dad. No. Do you like boys? Yeah. You're not gay. But they dangle it and they say things. And then years later, shit goes wrong. Not for all. Not for all. But they're fucking with kids. They're fucking with their heads. Oh, you can't drink. You can't smoke. You can't own a gun. You're not responsible enough. You don't have the maturity. Oh, you want to cut your penis off, little Johnny? Here's a knife. Go ahead. Really? The double talk, the idiocy that comes out of Democrats' mouth is just deafening. Because you say one thing and you do another. Sorry. I'm waiting on emails back from about this puppy. But I did give the person's, my wife's contact, as they call her. She's the boss. That's the other thing. I get told that I control my wife. I'm a sexist. My wife's the fucking boss of this house. I guess it's sort of like with her my wife's grandmother, grandfather when they were alive. The grandmother Hanan was very quiet. She ruled the roost. My wife's grandfather, Brian, he was the dog on the chain. He did all the barking. But if you fucked around too much, that chain got taken off. That's how it is with me and my wife. She'll be like, chains off, hon, go. Go. But otherwise, I mean, our marriage is 50-50, as a marriage should be, but especially I'm getting older, and I'm tired of being responsible. I don't know if I ever was, though. That's something I don't know if I could have been accused of. I know this is a weird show. I'm going to miss my little buddy. I know I still got 2 more in my house, but still. They're like your family members. And I just keep sitting here looking at that picture. And he kind of, when he saw us, you could see he was okay. They're here. But he had to look like, why? What did I do? It just goes, as is a lot of things in life. Irresponsible ones ruin it for everybody. They ruined it for my daughter. They ruined it for my wife. I don't know. Still got a lot of decisions to make on that whole subject. I do have to thank my in-laws, because without them, he wouldn't have got the full medical care. We couldn't afford that bill at this time. And so I do thank them very much. It just... So I think we're all still in this house a little shell-shocked right now from it. Maybe shell-shocked, I shouldn't use that word, but we're still a little shocked. Because it went from a very beautiful Easter day to total shit real quick. It went from, okay, he's banged up, he's injured. I figured when we got to the doctor, he's just got some contusions, some bruising. He'll take it easy a couple of days and he'll be all right. He's got life-threatening injuries, long-term injuries. It was real quick. It went from 0 to 60. And even some of the staff, they were kind of, and then when it went to worse, they were shocked. But I wish I had the money. Even if I had, I don't know if I would have gone through the surgery, because he would have had lifelong issues, and he was too active of a dog. I mean, I wonder if I could find one of these videos that I did. Give me a minute. I'm going to see if I can find one of these, because I want to show you how this beautiful dog was. And that's what he was. He was a beautiful dog. Where the hell are my videos? Aha. Ooh, I got to turn the volume down on this. All right. I got to share. Stop sharing. Go to my Facebook. And hopefully if it's loud, I'll turn it down real quick, okay? This was an every night occurrence in the house. I know my desk is messed up. The coffee table's messed up. There's the older one. Like, I'm out of here. I'm getting out of here. And no, they're not vicious. The little one, the fur ball, he's very boisterous. That was my Abel. And that's what this man took from my family. Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that if that came up. I don't know. It's going to be a while. It's going to suck. Even the new puppy, if we get one, it's going to still be a big void in our life for a while. But he's up there, the big puppy sky, playing with my German Shepherd Jaeger, and that's the thing that's kind of hurt. January was a year since I lost my German Shepherd. July, I lost my father. 2 months after that, my mom's dog I was always over my parents, so Reese's was another family member. That little Yorkie poo, that 6 months apart from my Yorkie poo, and they raised together. She passed away. Now you have Abel that's passed away. It's been a shit roller coaster lately, but that's life, and I do understand that. But this one didn't need to happen. It did not need to happen because of someone's irresponsibility, and I know I'm harping on that. If you take anything away from listening to this, be responsible. Understand that having your dog not on a leash, that someone else could pay the price for your irresponsibility. All right, that's going to be it for the show. I know I'm going to end a couple minutes early, but I didn't even think I almost didn't do the show tonight. I didn't feel it. But I'm glad I did. Till next time.